My name is Grace Wynura, and welcome to Horse Pro, the channel dedicated to empowering the amateur horse enthusiast and supporting the budding professional. Today we're going to discuss stride length and how you can increase or maximize stride length on a horse. So a horse is born conformationally with a certain amount of stride or step. And when we're referring to this, we mean in trot and canter. But for our purposes today, we're talking about the length of canter stride and how it relates and how it relates to jumping. So what happens is a horse is born with a certain amount of stride. Sometimes this stride is small and perhaps too small to make the actual lines in canter strides. That's not something you can change. However, you can maximize a short step. You can try to maximize and create as much step as you can. This is not done with speed. And when you have a horse with ample to large stride, who now seems to have shrunk or it's minimized, and whether that's because of age, sometimes as horses age and their joints become creakier, their steps become shorter, their muscles don't lengthen and contract quite as easily. So for that, we can help the horse a little bit by having a vet look at it and then doing exercises and certain routines in order to help keep that horse supple and maximize its way of going. Then we have horses who, because of previous riding or the rider that's on them, that they're bowed or crooked. So they're actually traveling shorter to one side or the other, and we often see bowing in the lines. Also because of this, instead of the horse rolling back and lifting its wither and sitting on its hind end so it can propel itself forward, it's almost sitting sideways. Visibly, you need to be behind it or in front of it to actually see this or sit on it yourself. But often as riders, we have one weak way, we lean one way or the other, and that does create a bow. So that can also be fixed. Stride length due to that factor can also be fixed. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you an exercise in a moment of a young lady who is only 12 years old. And I started with her about 10 weeks ago because her regular trainer, Erin Ballard of Looking Back Farm, was still in Florida, and I was asked to step in because Ella lives close to me in order to aid or facilitate Ella in being prepared for the show season with Looking Back. So this is an exercise that I did in order to help her large pony maximize his step, because when I started with him, he was on a little bit of a disjointed short step, almost a bit hopping. So today Ella is going to show you what we did in order to help fix this. And I am proud to say that Ella was champion at her first show with Looking Back Farm in the children's pony division. So here is the video of Ella performing the exercise. Then I'm going to show you the exercise on a board and explain it. And then I will show you Ella riding it one more time.
Straight, I'm going to show you the exercise as Ella did it, and an alternative and an upgrade from this exercise. So first of all, with Ella, We made sure that she jumped a single that day, back and forth, aiming for as straight a line as possible. We made sure that there was a very easy line that could be done absolutely 2 verticals, and you could make this a 4 or a 5, just something, or a 6, something that's easy peasy for the pony or horse to do. And again, those numbers, depending on whether you're indoors or outdoors, whether the footing's wet or dry, you want to keep those numbers when you first start, possibly a smidge on the shorter side. So for a horse, maybe at 11 feet, because you're not going to be doing this at height just yet. When you first start, it's going to be cavaletti height if you can. For ponies, same thing. Maybe it's going to be poles on the ground when you start, and then upgrade. Poles are the way to go, and then upgrade into jumps. So we ride straight. Now what we're going to do is we come around a curve, and we've set a vertical here. I set a vertical here so that you're jumping an angle over both, 2 strides in between. And from this vertical back to this one, I also made it a 2-step. So actually there's a triple line here with a finite number, 2 strides measured between each, so that the pony has to straighten itself. When it jumps in, it has to leave off both hind legs in order to land. It has to stretch or compress in order to be straight at this 2. Sometimes the act of compression or the act of trying to get straight, you may have the odd bobble or add here until the pony or horse understands it. Then again, the horse must put its hind legs and leave with both hind legs straight and pushing the horse evenly in order to make this 2 happen. Now, the offshoot is that you get also a better lead change here and a straighter horse both sides. Then you can always come back. You can ride across this angle and make this a 2. And then at the top, you test the horse or pony and you ride straight down a 2 that you set on maybe the 3rd line here. So what happens is you are showing the horse how to go straight. You are trying to ride a line straight. And here you will feel bow, and you can do it both directions. You'll feel bow both directions. And then you come through, you show them actually how to hit a straight line by giving them a destination of hitting a straight line, okay? So angling in order to hit a straight line. Then we show them the alternate angle, okay? We show them the alternate angle. And then we test them to see if they're straightening out. Now, this may take weeks in order to develop a rider who will ride with both legs into the rein straight. And it may take time to get the horse physically uncurved. But as you can see, by riding a diagonal line across and a diagonal line this way, the horse literally has to take its shoulder, open it from whatever way it's bending, back and forth longitudinally, leg to hand, in order to hit the straightness. The reason why you want 3 initially across is because if the horse lands and gets a little stuck, takes a little bobble here, the rider's eye is riding here and giving it a destination. Then you can ease up a little on the 2 and the 2 on the straightaway to test it. And of course you can do it backwards and forwards because you're doing it at verticals. Now, the next stage would be you could do canter poles. You could do these as 3 jumps to test the straightness here. And again, it's not about height. It's about organized straight riding and seeing where you're beginning and how you're ending. Now you can set an outside line. You could go an X. You could go straight and an X this way. Notice I've set a jump in the middle and almost like a numerical 10X. That's how I've set this exercise. And you have multiple ways. You can simply jump at diagonals. And again, what you're doing is you're opening the horse's stride by asking them to be straight. This isn't forceful. It's very easy. It creates tremendous rider accuracy, gets the rider's eye up, gets their leg on. This jump in the center helps the horse to understand inside a line of multiples, such as 4, 5, or 6s, a pause moment. So this is infinitely helpful on a straight line, because the horse expects a small pause moment, not to shorten its step or collect its stride, but to lift its shoulder up so that the hind end can actually propel it in a softer, more forward, straight ride. This exercise also gets you a beautiful shape over the fence, and it also gets you a horse that rides straight on the landings. So therefore, your lead changes are much easier, and instead of swinging out, losing stride, and then having to scramble through, you end up going straighter and have a more dynamic canter, but without speed. So again, I hope this exercise is of value to you, and I will show you one more time Ella performing it. Straight,
This exercise today is excellent. It uses straightness in order to maximize the length of step, and it creates straightness by doing the exercise. There isn't any physical labor on the rider's part. We're simply showing the horse an exercise, and it can be done over poles, cavaletti, small jumps, and what it does is it helps the horse to see how to straighten itself and how to desire to straighten itself, and so you end up getting a little bit larger step or maximizing the step you have. Again, this is Grace Winner for Horse Pro. If you found anything of value in today's video, please hit the like icon. Please hit the subscribe button. That's what will keep me doing these videos. And of course, I hope you have a great ride and a great day today.